Oh yeah, that's a great way to start. I just
Cheers.
think the glasses that I have here. I have so many.
High five.
Well, happy Wine Wednesday,
Wine
everybody,
Wednesday.
and welcome to the show. Hello, Vanessa. How are you?
Maxwell, I'm so happy to be here with you.
I
I'm
am so
great.
happy. I'm so happy you're here. I've been waiting for this all day. I've been actually waiting for this show for I don't know, maybe months.
Yeah,
Tonight's been in the works for a while.
it has.
So,
It has.
so
Yes.
this is a very big night, and I am so happy that it's finally here. And hello, everybody joining in on the chat there. I see so many of your familiar, happy faces. I know. Lots of welcome back Vanessas in the chat.
Oh, thank you. So happy to be here.
Yeah.
Missed you guys.
So the reason that we're doing this tonight, guys, and the reason that I've got all of this wine in front of me, which is very exciting. I've got
5 bottles.
5 bottles. This is
Yeah.
this is this is a big deal. So what we're doing tonight is our partners, Napa Valley Vintners, asked winemakers and vintners to pick the wine that means the most to them and tell us why. And this is all part of something called Open the Cellar. And all of the wines that you're going to see here tonight, plus many, many more, are going to be available starting Friday at openthecellar.com. And this is also part of another campaign that we started using the hashtag This Is Our Napa. And so maybe you could talk a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. Well, again, so excited to be here. So I'm Vanessa Conlon, Master of Wine. I am a very proud resident of Napa Valley and a proud friend of Maxwell's. Being here in Napa, we've had a bit of what Lee Hudson, very famous grower here, called a body blow this year. So it's been a struggle. It's been a test, but this is my home. I love it here. I moved here from New York City in 2010 because once I got a taste of, no pun intended, of this amazing valley, the hospitality, the wines, the beauty of the place, the people, the spirit, I had to be a part of it. And so Maxwell and I and our friend Amanda McCrossan, who's on Instagram as Somme Vivant, we wanted to put a little bit of light back into people's minds and hearts about this amazing valley with this hashtag, This Is Our Napa. And thank you to the Napa Valley Vintners for jumping on that and supporting us and partnering with us tonight. So as Maxwell said, openthecellar.com. You can view the wines now, but they'll be available for purchase on Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific, I believe. And it's a way to really show some love to this valley and drink some really, really delicious wines.
Exactly. And we're gonna have 5 of them tonight, which
Yeah,
excited about.
I'm ready.
I am too. And guys, I'm putting the website right in the chat for you right there. So openthecellar.com will take you to that, and you guys can check it out and learn all about it. Should we start?
I think it's that time. I mean,
Okay.
It's like 6:07.
Let's go.
I've been thirsty all day. So we are starting with the 2019 vintage of ZD Wines, Sauvignon Blanc, Napa Valley, of course. This is the first release of this wine. So this is a family-owned winery, and a lot of wineries in Napa Valley are family-owned. I love this spirit here of the pride that people take in what they do. It's one of the things that I fell in love with when I visited, again, back when I was, living in Manhattan, and I came out and I just thought, wow, these people, they pass this down through generations, or they're drawn here just because it's an amazing place and people want to be a part of it. But I love all these family wineries here. And this is all organically grown.
Ah,
grapes, certified organically grown, which a lot of Napa Valley is really committed to sustainability, to organics, to biodynamics. And I love that we have such an appreciation of nature here, of agriculture, and have worked
yeah.
really hard over the years to preserve that, to make this, the world-class growing region that it is. And I want to toast you, but I want to first just brag about you a little bit. But you're such an advocate for this region, and you're such a wonderful wine tasting partner, because you're really a great taster. You have this wonderful curiosity about you, which makes it so much fun to do these chats together. And I just want to say, one of the many things I love about wine is that it really brings people together. And two people met over the internet. And I really, I consider you a great friend now, and it was wine that brought us together. So I just wanted to say, cheers to Napa, cheers to you, but cheers to this amazing, amazing elixir that actually builds friendships, even when it's virtually.
It's really beautiful. Thank you. And it's just so true. And this has been, honestly, the best part of this entire, last 7 months. We've been dealing with all of this nonsense, but doing this with you has really been, the highlight. So that's really nice. Thank you. And of course, thank you to everybody that's here watching.
Yes.
You guys,
and to the participating wineries.
And to all the wineries, thank you, and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Napa.
Cheers to Napa. This is our Napa. All right. Well, I'm excited to taste this. So, I mentioned the first release. Oh, that is delicious.
Wow.
So it fermented and aged in a mix of concrete, stainless steel, and actually a little bit of American oak, which we know from some wineries out here, like Silver Oak uses American oak, but we see a lot of French oak in Napa Valley. So I really kind of love that they've done something a little different here. And also, we've talked about this on your Wine Wednesdays, but no malolactic fermentation on this. So I know sometimes when we really get geeky, we talk about stuff like that on Wine Wednesday, but so the malic acid has not been converted into lactic acid. Don't let that scare you, people at home. But essentially what that means is there's a really, really crisp, zingy, fresh acidity to it. It's really, really my mouth is watering in the best way possible. It makes me think of 1,000 food pairings. What do you think?
This is one of the zingiest wines I've ever tried. Is that a good word? I think it's a good word.
The technical term is zinginess. Yes.
Okay. The technical term is zinginess. You heard it from the master of wine here, guys. So that's it. This is like green apple.
Yes. Yeah. I get green apple. I mean, I think Sauvignon Blanc as a variety is what we consider an aromatic variety. So it usually has a very distinct presence, intensity on the nose, which I'm definitely getting on this. It kind of is like, welcome, I'm here, and I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to hold back.
I like one sip and I was just in. I'm like, this is oh, I know tonight's going to be a great night. But I just started with this. I don't know how to describe that, but
I get also, a ton of citrus fruit on this, kind of like yellow citrus, green citrus. There's also a little bit of sort of tropical fruit, but not really ripe. It's kind of this barely just fresh kiwi, barely fresh pineapple to it as well, which I think adds this great complexity, because you have this sort of very, citrusy component to it, but then a bit of riper fruit as well. And it just marries really well.
Okay. Now I see what you're saying. It's got there might be a grapefruity kind of thing or something. I don't know, but this is delicious and zingy. Wow.
This winery has a beautiful view sort of across the valley,
really,
from the Silverado Trail as you drive north. And I don't know if you know, but wineries are actually opening up again here. So we opened back up this week. And I just took a drive up valley today. It's there's so many beautiful places to visit. You know, wineries, the restaurants. So we're here. The weather was beautiful today, so very excited to have people come back.
That's awesome. So yes, guys, you can if you are able to safely. Napa Valley is open. It's amazing. You can taste wine indoors at the tasting rooms now in Napa. That's really incredible. So that's so cool. And so this so ZD Wines, you said Silverado Trail. Is it so where is it situated?
You can kind of see this whole view of kind of the Rutherford appellation as you look west.
Oh,
And so this is all obviously Napa Valley, all Napa Valley fruit, and as I mentioned, all certified organically farmed. So and certifiably delicious.
It is. Sir, wait, you were telling me something that Napa is 40% is sustainable wineries are in Napa. What was that? You told, or is it
goal?
Or the
Yeah,
goal?
I mean the goal is 100%.
Right, of course.
And so that's actually an initiative of the Napa Valley Vintners is to have 100% vintner participation. But yes, there's a I don't know what the current percentage sitting here today is sitting here in Napa Valley, which I'm very proud of. But very proud that so many people here have that commitment to sustainability, organics, biodynamics, just general care of the land. And you know, something that I like to just, you know, remind people of is that sustainability is also not just about, you know, electricity or water conservation. It's about people, and it's a commitment to taking care of the people that work for you, that live here in the valley. And I'm really proud that so many vintners care about that.
Yeah, that's really that's a great testament to vintners that are there. Yeah, that's really cool. Guys, if you have any questions, by the way, you can always leave them in the comments. Just checking out your chat now. I know you guys are hanging. Oh, hey,
you have the best. You have the best folks.
They are the best.
Yeah, they're the best.
I mean, they really are the best. They really are. Hi, Amanda. Oh, cheers to you, Amanda. You start work next week. Oh, this is her last Wine Wednesday live because she's working next week. Oh, well, Amanda, we're gonna make it a really good one, obviously. So
yes,
obviously.
Cheers to that.
Certified sustainable / biodynamics, or just claiming to be sustainable. What do you mean there, Alexa? Just let me know what you mean by that, and we can answer that.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Shall we?
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay.
Okay. So I'm excited about this wine for a number of reasons.
Okay.
One is that I've had it and I love it. Two is that I don't think you've ever had a Roussanne, so we get to try this together.
I have never, ever tried a Roussanne. So
okay, which is really exciting. And then, as you know, when we were kind of talking about what to talk about, I thought it'd be fun to feature a variety that isn't the first thing that comes to mind. It's not Sauvignon Blanc, it's not Chardonnay, it's something a little different, but to showcase that, you know, Napa is not just the varieties that is on the tip of everyone's tongue, but we have a real diversity here of what we grow and vinify. So this is from True Chard. This is the 2019. This is from Carneros. So this is also a family owned property, and they sell grapes to a lot of very, very famous vintners, but this is their own brand. I'm going to pour a little bit. So Roussanne is actually, its home is not in the United States. It's actually in the Rhone. So mostly where you see Roussanne, it is grown in, you know, around the world, but kind of known for northern and southern Rhone. And yes, I'm very excited about this already.
Whoa, wow.
So it's kind of what I call it's a sort of semi-aromatic variety. I always get a really intriguing mix on this of not just fruit, but kind of floral notes to it. And there's almost like a chamomile tea that I get on Roussanne sometimes.
This is so different.
Yeah.
It really is so different than any white I've actually, smelled. I haven't tasted it yet, but wow.
And it's very, this variety, varieties are kind of, some are easier to grow. Not that anything's easy about viticulture, but some are more finicky than others. And this is known for being kind of a difficult variety. So I really, hats off to the Truchards for doubling down and making something that's, probably not the easiest thing that they could do.
Okay, I smell,
Yes.
and this is one of those things you've taught me. I smell like wet stone,
Mm-hmm.
wet rocks, like that kind of deal.
That minerality. And I think we've talked about this on Wine Wednesday before, that, some people are like, oh, that's not a thing. I personally will never stop talking about minerality, because for me, when I smell or taste certain wines, like, it's there. And we can argue all day, or we can actually, pinpoint, like, well, this isn't actually coming from, the minerals in the soil, but there's something that happens in certain places in the world that has something distinct in the glass that is magical. And I totally agree with what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, like it's super.
Mm-hmm.
It just has that. It is really aromatic. By the way, guys, if I could transport you here, this wine has almost filled my entire area in a way with its scent.
But here, we haven't even tasted this yet.
Yeah.
And look how much we're talking about it. We haven't actually. We should taste it.
Let's taste it.
Let's taste it. So this is the part of Wine Wednesday when I stop talking and I wait for you to talk, because you haven't tried this before.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Let me take another one. My brain is like, what?
I've got a glass in front of me. I can wait all evening.
Wow. So, this is beautiful. This is almost like, I'm getting like, what am I getting on the palate here? I'm almost getting like I got something citrusy almost on the palate, mm-hmm. but then floral too. But like, there's also, for me, there's also that crazy minerality going on that is very different. I don't understand this, but I like it.
For me, so I get definitely citrus, but it's a different citrus than the Sauvignon Blanc that we started with. Yeah. For me, it's almost like, you ever eat clementines?
Yeah, I eat a clementine every day.
I love clementines. And it's just like that fresh peel when you just like pull that off. It's got this like beautiful orange citrus to me, that kind of like floral, sort of fresh, like wildflower note to it. And almost like, you're walking outdoors. And as you said, when you were talking about minerality, like sort of wet, wet stone, like fresh raindrops, that beautiful smell, like right after a rain, when everything smells just like it's reborn.
Yes. That yes. Yeah. So wait, if I peel a clementine, it's going to smell like that. Like, it's yeah.
That's something that it reminds me of. Of course, certain tasting things can be very personal. So, but one thing that that I like to talk about is structure.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is it's there, right? That's like one thing that we don't.
Yes.
It never lies. And for me, what I get is this sort of marriage of the kind of very zingy, to use a technical term, zingy, fresh, bright acidity of Sauvignon Blanc, because my mouth is really watering when I taste this wine.
Yeah.
But it also has this sort of beautiful, almost waxy texture to it as well. So it's a very intriguing sort of combination on the palate of that focus, but then also this kind of like textural, like spherical note.
Right. That.
I'm sure that's exactly what you were gonna say.
I was about to tip of my tongue, but I just didn't say it. You know, yeah. But okay, can I like do an experiment?
This is your show. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna go grab a clementine and peel it, and I wanna smell how it smells.
I love this.
Okay, so I'm gonna go grab a clementine.
Yes, and I should mention, so this is from Carneros. So Carneros is this in the southern part of the valley, of Napa Valley. It actually spans across Napa Valley and also Sonoma. And we get this beautiful cooling influence from the fog there. So it's an area that is really known for Burgundian varieties, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, but also some varieties for, well, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir for sparkling wine, but also Pinot Meunier. So very, very coveted for sort of the freshness there, the ability to grow wines with like great acidity, but also home to, well, another wine we're going to taste later tonight, but things like Cabernet Franc, Syrah, Merlot, beautiful, beautiful appellation. So, okay, well, here we go.
So we're gonna, this is like the ultimate test. This is kind of what you always talk about too, where you always tell me, smell the fruits, pick them up, smell them. This is how you learn to
get a sense memory.
Okay,
exactly.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. We're gonna peel this orange, this clementine. Sorry, this cutie. Clementine. Yeah.
You actually had one. I thought you were humoring me.
So okay, yeah. See, this is. She's got a good nose.
I would hope so.
Like, man, what? Yeah, do a little. There's wave the skin around a little bit, and then you
do that with the,
Oh my gosh! I mean,
anyway, I'm a fan.
On. That is wild. All right, guys. See, this is what you get. If you have, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I think that's a great way to do this. If you have the fruit at home that you are smelling with your particular wine, go grab it and do a little experiment like I just did, because that is honestly amazing.
I love this idea. I feel like I'm logging this for future Wine Wednesdays, where maybe we can do that. We could have it's almost like your aroma box, where we're going to taste a wine.
Yes.
And we'll say have these things available, and then you can compare and contrast and see what you're picking up. I love this.
Because that sip I just had was a clementine. I don't even
love it.
Apparently in Australia, by the way, Amanda said that they call them mandarins, but we call them clementines.
Oh, I've heard that. I thought it was okay, that's cool. I did not know that was the same thing. Thank you, Amanda. See, I learned just as much here. From your community? I learn a lot. Yes.
Oh, see, look at that. You guys are teaching a master something.
Yes. Thank you. Well, yeah. And that's the thing about wine too, right? Is we're never done learning, which is something that could either drive you crazy or make you love it even more, which it does for me, which is that you're never done. You're never you're never finished in your journey. So that was okay.
We are 2 for 2 with these wines. Amazing.
2 for 2. I'm gonna pour the Hudson. So this is called Pick Up Sticks. So this is another Carneros wine. This is Grenache. So interestingly enough, the last wine that we had was a Roussanne, which also is a variety that is cultivated in the Rhone. And so is Grenache, really in the southern Rhone, but also grows beautifully here. You can find Grenache in other places, like Australia has some really old vine Grenache. It's the same variety as Garnacha in Spain. So, there are certain varieties where it's the same thing, but we call them different things in different places, like Syrah or Shiraz, as it's known in Australia, is the same thing. So Grenache is the same variety. And this is from Hudson. So Hudson is Actually, I just did an IG live with Lee and Christina. I think that was, this week is a blur. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before. Don't hold me to that. But
no, days
they're
don't mean anything these days, you know. Yeah.
Heard that. But they're absolutely lovely people. And Lee Hudson is really up there in the most respected and well-known growers. So this is a wine that they make there, but also he sells fruit to, it's kind of like the who's who of Napa Valley. So really well respected. The first job that I had at a winery in Napa Valley after I moved here was for a winery called Arietta. And Fritz Hatton and Karen, his wife, the proprietors, they have some vineyards at Hudson. So I sort of have a long history with Lee and Christina and the site. And so it's very special to me. And really kind of showcases the people here. So something that was really special about Napa to me, when I was in Manhattan, I would see, I was a retail buyer there for brick and mortars, and I would see the names of these wines. When I came, but they're just, their names on a label. And I think what's so amazing and special about this place is you come out here and you're like, oh, Lee Hudson. I know him. I met him, and these things, it's like, for me, it was just this ultimate like celebrity fangirl moment when I moved out here. I'm like, all these names that I've respected for so long, like they actually live here. They're people, they're cultivating this fruit and making wine and sharing them with people. And they're lovely. Like the people of this valley are so lovely. So I'm very excited to taste this video. So meanwhile, I've been talking so long that we haven't tasted it, which we will do.
Let's go.
Okay, cheers. And I put mine in a Burgundy glass, which was just a choice. But with Rhone varieties, sometimes I like to drink them from a Burgundy rather than a Bordeaux glass because they have like a really elevated, lifted perfume to them. So that's what I've chosen, but that's not a right or wrong. You can drink them from a tumbler as well. But that's what I chose for this. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I can't wait to talk to you about this.
Let's go.
Or I should say, hear from you about this.
Hear from me, right? Because I gotta, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Here's what happened. I got this cherry this cherry thing happening at the top, and then I got these peppery notes as it kept going. So it's like it was like savory red fruits, and then it changed to the spices at the end. So that's wild. Yeah.
I think you should just be leading these sessions from now
on,
because because you're so spot on. This is like, you're really, so there's definitely this Grenache. Ooh. For me, there's always this sort of distinct wild strawberry note to Grenache. But also I do get, as a marker for me often is this sort of like fresh ground pepper. There can sometimes be, depending on where it's grown, almost like a little bit of a mintiness to it. But it is this beautiful mix of sort of fruit and savory. And again, a wine that for me has a lot of floral notes on the nose, kind of like a wild violet. Is there are violets wild? I don't know. A violet note to it. But really, a very, very distinct mix of aromas and flavors. And again, to go back to, I always geek out about texture on wine, because so much for me about the enjoyment of wine is not just what we're smelling and tasting, but what we're feeling.
Yeah.
And to me, this has this.
I feel good. Go ahead.
Well, how we feel emotionally, of course, but also what we're feeling on the palate. but I get it with Grenache. There's a breadth of, a palate. It has this sort of like voluptuous note to it. The tannins are sort of velvety and pliable, but still there and structured. And anyway, so I'm obviously kind of geeking out about this wine, but I really love it. And note about Hudson, that Lee and Christina and their property they have there, they're not only growers of wine grapes, but they have an amazing array of other vegetables. So they have a CSA box and a little grocery store at Oxbow Market here.
Oh, that's cool.
And they grow literally award-winning pumpkins, like pumpkins that are bigger than my car.
What?
No joke. Yes. Like they're masters at this. So when you are back in Napa, and I just actually invited you to someone else's party is what I just did. So sorry, Lee and Christina, but you need to come to their harvest party. I haven't actually been officially invited either. So we're both crashing the party, I think. But they have this amazing harvest party, which didn't happen this year, but will happen again. And you get to view these gourds, and it's unbelievable. But so a real commitment to growing all different types of fruit, vegetables, herbs, etc.
Okay.
And Christina used to work with Alice Water at Chez Panisse. So she has this wonderful culinary background. He's got this amazing wine background. So I kind of want to also invite myself over to dinner.
Okay, yeah. Invite me to that too. But so basically, Harvest Party 2021.
2021.
We get to drink amazing wine, and we get to like.
We're crashing, and you want to take a selfie with the pumpkin because it's like a celebrity. It's like an award-winning. Although it'd be hard because it's like I'll take it for you so that you can get the whole background.
I'm good at selfies.
I should have known.
This is what I do, Here, I'm gonna take one right now. Ready? Watch this. I'm gonna take a selfie right now.
Okay.
That was great. Yeah. See?
It's a talent. Yeah, it's a talent. I'm still I'm working on, Some people, I say this when people ask about wine tasting, like, can you learn to taste? And I say, of course, like any skill, you can get better at it. But there are certain things that you have that can be improved upon if you have a level that you're kind of, born with, right? Like for me, I could practice baseball for like the rest of my life, and I'm always going to be pretty bad at it, but I'll get better, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I feel about the selfie. Like I could get better, but like you have something special.
Thank you. I could give you some lessons. Just like you give me the wine lessons, I'll give you lessons on that. It's
It's a deal. It's a barter. It's a barter agreement. I like it. So also, fun fact.
On the
I'm not going to say what they were having for dinner specifically, but if you saw the Instagram I did with Lee and Christina, I asked them what they were having for dinner, and he did name a part of a lamb, which I'm not going to repeat here tonight, which is not something that I would probably have in my refrigerator, but they're very adventurous foodies, is my point.
Oh, I would get along with them because I eat anything.
Okay. See, this is why you need to go to their harvest party, and then we should invite ourselves over for dinner.
Harvest Party 21. All the pumpkins, all the selfies, it'll be gorgeous. You get it?
I got it.
Okay, good.
But yes, I got it.
I'm gonna see myself out maybe after that. No, no, we have two more. Wait,
we have two more wines.
We have two more, but wait a minute.
Hold up. What is it?
We have two more, but I think since we've had three, I think now would be a good time to do a little wine trivia.
I love that. Okay.
Wine trivia.
Okay. I like this because I mean this in the best way, but you pose trivia questions to people regularly as Mr. Cheesy Pop, right? And kind of, I don't say put them on the spot, but they're supposed to know their stuff. So like, what if I turn the tables on you here a little bit?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So Napa Valley, where I'm sitting right now as we speak, is actually a pretty small, for its reputation worldwide. It's actually very small, which speaks to the quality of what we grow and we make here. So it's 30 miles long, 5 miles wide, it's widest, and it's actually, as I mentioned, a very a community that's very committed to actually preserving the integrity of this place. So while it has this huge reputation, we don't make that much wine. So of this valley, if you had to guess a percentage of what was planted to grapes, what percentage would you guess?
What percentage of Napa Valley is planted to grapes? Okay, so of the entire valley, how much has actual grapes?
Planted versus just, you know, beautiful wilderness forest.
Okay, and guys, you can answer in the chat here. Yes, you're allowed to answer in the chat tonight.
I know that's unusual because they're not allowed to answer in the chat when you do your Disney trivia, right?
No.
I think you get banned.
You get banned. Yes, you do. You get banned if you answer in the chat on Disney Trivia Night. I don't have time for that. But on Wine Wednesday, it's like anything goes. So so how much of Napa Valley is planted to grapes? Okay.
Planted to wine grapes.
Wine grapes. Yes. Okay. There's a lot of answers coming in, and I'm really gonna go with so I'm guessing it's low. Okay. And I think that the answer is gonna be somewhere around what Shauna said. So Shauna said 10%, Ryan said 9%, Amanda said 9%, Rosemary said 9%. And I'm that's where I'm going. I'm gonna go with Joyce said 10. Oh no, Joyce's husband said 10. Anna said 10. That's where I'm going. We have a lot of other answers that are like 50, 35, 45. I'm going low. I'm gonna go in the range that Rosemary and Ryan said, and Joyce and the 9s.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
So I'm going to call all of the 9s and 10s winners because we're splitting hairs at that point, but it's 9%.
It is 9%, Ryan and Rosemary.
Well done. Well done, Ryan and Rosemary.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? For such a world-renowned growing region, it's pretty astounding.
So that means that Napa Valley is small. And then when you think about the area that actually has the grapes, so it's even smaller. It's even smaller than
Yep.
So cool.
So yeah, I love this. I love this trivia. Okay, you want another question? Because we have another red, but while I'm pouring, so I'm going to pour the Lang and Reed next.
Lang and Reed is next up. I will pour this while we get the next trivia question going, guys.
I don't think we've ever done 5 wines.
No.
I think this is the first. Good night. So this, before we get into the trivia, so this is the Lang and Reed, another family-owned property. Tracy and John Scupney. So this is Cabernet Franc, which is actually one of my very, very favorite red varieties. One of the Bordeaux varieties, but grows beautifully here. And so this is called the 214, which is actually the name of the clone of Cabernet Franc. And this is from 2016 vintage. So I think we've tasted some Bordeaux varieties on Wine Wednesday. I don't recall if we've ever tasted a Cabernet Franc, but I love this variety. So, very, very well known in Bordeaux, but particularly on the right bank. And also, if you've heard of Chinon from the Loire Valley, That's also
Mhm.
Cabernet Franc.
Mhm.
So it could be made by itself. It can be part of a blend. And here I think it showcases what I really love about Cabernet Franc, and that it has this wonderful sort of perfumed aromatics to it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because you get this sort of the some similarities to Cabernet Sauvignon and that sort of black currant note to it, black currant, black cherry, but then it has a red fruit note to it as well, and sort of like this lift.
This is I love this smell. I love this. Yeah, I already know I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this because I
mm,
isn't that amazing? Oh, this is an amazing thing that I've learned on my little wine journey is that I can
yes.
smell something and within like a second be like, oh, I'm gonna love that. Or be like, oh no. That
Mm.
like, that is yeah, like this.
Well, and that, yeah, that's the fun part about learning and tasting wine, and about just opening a lot of different things, is you don't there's so much variety. You don't have to love everything, but you'll find things that you didn't know that you loved.
This
Uh,
the nose on this is like I have a feeling it is going to be like
mm,
really real jammy, like that kind of a wine almost. But I don't.
well,
Oh,
let's try it.
all right, let's go. Mm. Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd like this wine. So for me, oh well, you know what?
Mm.
I'm so glad you look happy. I love that. Because that's what wine
That's
is meant
good.
to do. Yeah.
That's
But
yeah. It's pretty
I
awesome.
get this like some beautiful structure to this wine that kind of, I like to talk about this sort of palette shape of what I'm feeling, but it has this sort of like backbone to it. Um, but also this really beautiful concentrated core of fruit as well. So it's kind of like the perfect complete wine. Um, and again, on the palate, I get that kind of mix of like red and black fruits.
Yep.
Um, it's one of those wines that keeps changing on the finish, which I love. It's kind of like developing, and I'm getting more sort of some savory kind of earthy notes to
Yeah.
it.
So because when I smelled it and then when I sipped it, it was very dark fruits. It
Mhm.
was jammy, and my second sip was a little different. Well, let me take a third. So hold on a second here. Let me take a third sip
Hold
because
up, I'm holding up. Okay.
yeah,
Ooh.
the third sip's completely different.
And it's actually just since I did not decant this, I opened the bottles, but just since I poured it in the glass, it's opened up tremendously. It's really starting to kind of show parts of the wine that I didn't get at first, which is one of the things I love about wine, is it can change so much right in front of you.
This I've taken what, 3 sips of this? Have I taken three
Hmm.
sips of this, guys? I don't remember, but
You said
I,
you did, but I wasn't counting.
I think it's like three.
I
So
took your word for it. I trust you.
but so this one, and we've talked about this one before. I get that green pepper somehow
Yes.
by this sip.
See, yeah. So without getting too technical, which we could do on another show, but pyrazine is something that's present in Bordeaux varieties, which can give this kind of like green peppery note to it. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's distinctive to the variety. It should be there, and I love that complexity that it adds. But no, you're spot on. You're spot on. So you know what? This is a wonderful wine to pair with, in my opinion.
Well,
Thanksgiving, because
yeah.
because Cabernet Franc is a variety. Thanksgiving, it's so, if you do like a traditional,
Mhm.
so hard to pair because
It
there's
is.
so many different flavors on the table. It's like this. It's like a somebody's nightmare, right? But
Uh-huh.
I think that Cabernet Franc really can pair with a lot of different things. It could go with, vegetable dishes like mushrooms, butternut squash, but it can pair with the turkey, because it has
Yes.
this beautiful tannin structure to it, but it's not so tannic that you feel like it's going to overpower, like a poultry, and have to pair it with a red meat. However, if you do want to move into something, sometimes we do lamb at Thanksgiving, but this would also be beautiful with that.
Oh yeah, you're right. This would. Okay, so guys, Cab Franc for Thanksgiving. Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
What is the Franc in Cab Franc? What is going on with this name? I've always wondered this, actually. I don't even know what.
It's the name of the variety. It's just the name of the variety. It's named after a guy named Frank. Yeah, no, I'm confusing. Of course, I
would have believed you. I would have believed you.
It's the name of the variety.
Cabernet Franc.
It's Cabernet Franc. Yes.
Why is it okay? So why did they take Cabernet Sauv? Okay, so and this would be something confusing for people, I think. If someone's like, I see a Cabernet Sauvignon and then I see Cabernet Franc, what is?
So no, it's a great question. So a lot of varieties are related in one way or another, but different. And so, sort of as part of this, when we call like Bordeaux varieties, we're talking about Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Malbec. And they do have similarities, but then, it's like siblings, right? There's a through line in terms of certain traits, but then you have siblings, right? Okay, I'm an only child, so I should actually defer to you on this. But
yeah, I am an only child to my. I have two half brothers. My mom, I'm an only child to my mom. I have like best of both worlds kind of deal, which is wild.
Right. Got it. Yeah. But there's like, in families, there are certain things where you're like, I can tell that you're related, but you're so different in this. And so that's what's fascinating about these varieties. I forgot to ask you my trivia question though, about Napa. Okay.
Trivia.
Okay, because we're okay. So because we're drinking red wine, this is a trivia question that's based on that. So what percentage of grapes in Napa Valley are planted to red and what to white?
Ooh, okay. Yes. What percentage? Okay, so entire Napa Valley. What grapes are red? What grapes are white? Okay, so it's going to be more red. Okay, so guys, for your answers here, let's see your percentage of red and white in the chat, and then we will come to some sort of agreement, and we will figure out our answer. Okay.
Okay.
That's what we'll do.
While they're answering, I'm going to start pouring my fifth wine, which is from Davis Estates.
Davis Estates is our final one. I'm thinking that it's way more red, guys. So what I would say is, you know what? I'm gonna go with like what Cody. Yeah, Cody. I think that's what I'm feeling that. Honestly, Cody just wrote 73% red, 27% white, and I think that's I think it's something like that.
As always, impressed with your community. So again, splitting hairs because this could change from a little bit by year to year, but he's essentially right. So I have, 79% red, 21% white. So very.
So it's 79-21.
Yes, but again, this can change a little from year to year. But yeah, so but basically we're splitting hairs at that point. But yeah, so it's mostly red varieties here in Napa Valley. But very excited that we tasted two white wines tonight, the Sauvignon Blanc and the Roussanne.
Yeah.
So, hey, when was the first time you came to Napa?
First time I came to Napa was, oh gosh, this is gonna date me. It was in.
You don't have to say a year, but what was the circumstance?
I'm gonna say a year. It was in I'm trying to think, when was I? oh gosh, like 07 or 8, because it was, I moved to LA in 2006. So I moved to LA in 2006 from New York. As we've learned, Vanessa and I were basically neighbors.
We were neighbors. Yes.
Vanessa and I were basically neighbors in New York City without knowing it. But I moved to LA in 06, and I think my first trip to Napa was 07 or 8. I'd always been really interested in wine, but I at that point I hadn't really figured it out. I hadn't tasted anything that I was like, oh, yeah, it was just something I was like, yeah, I want wine, it's good. And then I went to Napa. That first year I went to Napa, I was like, oh, that's what it's supposed to taste like. And oh, wait a minute, I can have this magical elixir and have food with it that changes the taste of it. And that, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was my first trip to Napa where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to learn more about this. This magical thing. And as you know, so many of my viewers are so familiar with my love of Disney, but Napa became my adult Disneyland because it's just when you know, it was magic to me. It was magic to me. And when you are able to, you know, taste wine that comes from there, you just like, oh, okay, I get it. And then pair it with food and you know, like I went to, like I can remember the first time I went to one of my favorite restaurants in the world, which is Press, which is in Napa, which Amanda worked at. And I had this steak at Press, and the wine that, you know, because the sommeliers in Napa, you listen to their advice, and you will be paired perfectly with the food and the wine that you want. And I you know, and let me just tell you this, and I know this is a concern a lot of people have when they go out to eat, like, you know, you look at a menu, you're like, I don't understand, or it's too expensive. Or if you tell your sommelier like, oh, I can only, I want to keep it under $80.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to judge you. They will offer you the best stuff, and they appreciate that kind of thing. And I appreciated that when I went to Press. That they were just so like, oh yeah, no, that's totally fine.
You're so spot on, and in fact, sommeliers appreciate that if you give them some guy. I mean, sometimes look, if you know, money is no issue, you just say like, go to town, like, but right. You know, it's if you say like, there's here, I want to spend in this range and I'm looking for something that's like this, then they're like, oh, you know, you can kind of see the light bulb. So absolutely, like they're there to serve the customer. They're there to help you have the best experience possible. You're not there to have to impress them. Right. So I never be shy about asking questions or saying what you're in the mood for, or to your point, the price range that you want to spend. No, that's expected and comes with the territory, and actually helps them do their job better. So yeah. Well, I look forward to going to Press with you again. So this wine, so Davis Estates is sort of beautiful winery. I mean, state of the art. It's located right across the Silverado Trail from this iconic vineyard of Duckhorn called Three Palms. Yes, exactly. And so this one is a 2017 vintage called Classic Chase. Private Reserve, and this is a really fun blend. So we were talking before this about Bordeaux varieties. So this has Cabernet Franc again, like we had in the Langenried, but it has Merlot and Petit Verdot. So, you know, Cabernet Sauvignon is a variety that's sort of known as the, you know, the king of Napa Valley, very known for it. But I thought it'd be fun, and you know, to try something that's a little different. So technically, this is a Bordeaux blend, but no Cabernet Franc, or excuse me, no Cabernet Sauvignon in the blend. And so just I was very excited. This is actually, I've never had this particular wine before tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've had wine from Davis Estates, but never this. So I'm trying this for the first time with you.
Well, cool. Cheers. Here we go.
Cheers to that. So, but I'm curious to hear what you think, because you're so spot on tonight with your descriptors too. I'm super impressed.
I got a good teacher. Whoa, yeah.
So it's almost split evenly between Merlot and Cabernet Franc.
Yeah, because I'm getting like similar things to the one we just had, but this one is like hold on a second. Wait, it's like a little this one's a little smoother, silkier, like, oh, that's really dry though here. Okay.
Got some nice tannic structure for sure. That like drying sensation.
All,
that's the tannins. Yep.
Feeling it all here.
I think where you were going with that was spot on, because I do get some of this, some of the Cabernet Franc characteristics that we got in the Langen read, but this is where I can like, I'm really the Merlot is just adding to this so harmoniously. So Merlot tends to sort of be rounder. It has this sort of softer, richer mid palate, and there's more sort of like plum fruit to Merlot. And it takes on oak in a way that shows a very mocha note often to it.
No, okay, see, this is what okay, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy, and I was like, what, there's like chocolate. But I was like, nah, it's not chocolate.
No, you're absolutely right. And then
why? How?
Well, that's what's so beautiful. So some of that can come from, of course, from oak. You know, some of these kind of you know, mocha notes, baking spices, toastiness, you know, when we talk about cedar, etc., that can come from the oak aging. But it also depends on the variety. And, you know, there are sort of distinct places or varieties that will take on these things that are sort of magical. I was actually just having this conversation earlier today with another sort of Napa Valley, historian, Andy Beckstoffer, and we were talking about the Tokelon vineyard. And I said, well, what is it that makes Tokelon? Tokelon is one of the most famous sites, not only in Napa Valley, but in the world. And what makes Tokelon Tokelon? What is it? You know, what's the secret sauce? And, you know, his answer, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, there's certain things I can tell you. I can tell you about the soil. I can tell you about the aspect. I can tell you about the drainage. I can tell you about how I farmed it, you know, the daylight hours with the diurnal shifts and all these things. And then, you know what? I don't know. And that's kind of one of the things that I actually really love about wine. Or sure, I can tell you a number of things about a place and a wine. And then at some point there's a degree of magic to it. That is inexplicable. And that's what, to me, is one of the most alluring, exciting things about wine.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, like, because I was like, oh, no, this can't be chocolate. But then you're like, cocoa, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, it is this magic. I get the same sort of I get the same sort of like Disney magic as I get with wine magic.
Yeah.
Just it is a very similar emotion for me, honestly. And I know that, like, you guys that are watching, you've probably seen my face when I am at Disney, and when I'm it's probably the same face, right? It's probably a very similar thing, and it's just this stuff is magic. It really is.
It is.
Really.
It is. Yeah. This was I enjoyed all 5 of these wines so much, and I was really excited for this evening and to talk about, you know, Napa Valley, which is my home, but beloved to so many people, and just to remind people what's so special about it, the wines that we make here. And I'm so excited that, you know, that you wanted to be part of this, and that the Napa Valley Vintners, you know, supported us, and you know, hashtag this is our Napa. There's so many beautiful things about this place, so we need to remember that and focus on that.
Yeah, guys, with the hashtag "This is our Napa," um, we made this so that you can share your own
Yes.
experiences, your own stories. So if you'd like to participate, post a picture.
Come on in. Yes.
Like post a picture on Instagram, post a little story with the hashtag "This is our Napa" about what Napa means to you. If there's a particular bottle of wine that means something to you in Napa, we would love for you to participate in this. It's that'd be really neat. So so
Yes.
yeah, guys, if you want to do that, that would be amazing, and I can talk to you all about it more when we all hang out after this. But yeah, this was yeah.
Oh, thank you. And openthecellar.com, open on Friday.
Yes. So yeah, let me just say something about that before we go. Oh, wait, before I say that, a big thank you to the Hernandez family who just said, thank you both for educating me on wine. My coworkers and I just love it on our break. And let me tell you something, they are on their break because they work at a hospital. So that's a cheers to our nurses too. So thank you so much,
Oh,
guys. Thank you for all that you are
nurse,
doing.
first
Yes.
responders.
First
Yes.
responders, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers to all of you.
Mm-hmm.
We love you. Thank you, Hernandez family.
That means so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me post the link again, guys. And again, this is a great way to help out Napa Valley right now. Openthecellar.com. Everything will go on sale on Friday morning, right?
Exactly. I think 8 a.m. Yes.
Okay, so Friday morning, everything will go on sale. Oh, I caught it. That was good.
Wow. And it's all like wines that are very special to the vintners that are offering them. Yeah.
That's the thing about this is that every single wine that is on openthecellar.com was selected by the vintners, by the winemakers of the specific wineries. So
Yes.
these are wines that mean something special to them. So by supporting the wines that are listed on openthecellar.com, you're supporting Napa Valley in a really big way, in a really special way. And Napa Valley obviously needs it right now. So
yeah. We're still here. We love visitors. So you talked about the beginning. It's been a tough year, 2020, but we're resilient. And we've risen to challenges before. We've got grit and grace, and we're gonna get through this. So so happy to share some love about Napa tonight.
Yeah, we are. One quick announcement, guys. We're gonna end this video in just a minute here on YouTube. Okay, and then I'm gonna head over to my Instagram and we'll continue the party over on Instagram after this. Okay, but we're gonna end this video here. So yeah.
I love it. Great to see you. Thank you so much. Thanks for your community is amazing. I love. This is the best part of my week.
Well, it's the best part of my week too, and a lot of planning went into tonight, and we've worked really hard on this, and the Napa Vintners have worked hard on this, and it's just so cool to see it all come together and happen tonight with all of you guys and you, of course, Vanessa. So thank you, and thanks to Napa Vintners, and thanks to all of these amazing wineries that participated again.
Yeah.
Let me just highlight again all of them before we go.
Yes, please.
To show the wines that we tasted again tonight. So in the order that we tasted them, we did ZD wines, of course.
Sauvignon Blanc, 2019.
Then we went to
Truchard Roussanne from Carneros, 2019. Yep.
Then we moved right over here to Hudson.
Grenache, 2018. Yep. Pick Up Sticks.
Pick Up Sticks. What a great name. And then we did our Lang and Reed.
2016, 214.
And we ended tonight here. Davis Estates.
Davis Estates classic
bear.
chase.
Yeah, no, the bear on the bicycle.
Yeah, the bear on a bicycle.
That's great.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, this was super fun. Thank you so much. Also, Vanessa, everyone is saying thank you to you.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Wow, we'll be back soon, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna be back.
News to come.
Yeah, Vanessa and I have things in the works. Do not worry. Yeah. I wanna leave you with this. Maddie said, "Thank you so much, Vanessa. So much insight, genius, and I can't wait to finish planning the wineries we'll be visiting from these recommendations."
Yes. Wonderful. I love it. Thanks, Maddie. All right.
Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I will start an Instagram live in a few minutes. So just give me a few minutes to get that set up. I'm gonna get into my comfy clothes for the Instagram.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna get in comfy clothes too. Yes.
Yeah, you do that. You do that.
Okay.
You do that.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Maxwell.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Take care. And this is our Napa.
This is our Napa. Thanks.
Bye.
Guys, I'll see you on Instagram in just a little bit. Hashtag this is our Napa. We'll continue the party over there. Thank you. You're the best. Thanks to all of you that were here tonight. Thanks to Napa Vintners, and we love you, Napa Valley. This is our Napa. I'll see you guys in a little bit on Instagram. Okay.